Well, hello and welcome to Seaside Quilting Tutorials. It's box opening day again. Yay! So for those of you who have been following along with our 2023 Seaside quilt along, we are now halfway through the quilt. The block 6 just went out today. And then I think it's set for Wednesday for this part of the tutorial to come up and show putting your quilt together. So this is the first half. And then as you go through and do blocks 7 through 9, then you can add those as another row. And then of course 10 through 12. And then we'll be doing a separate video just on borders alone. And borders are going to come up constantly as we go through different tutorials. So we'll be doing this one, then when I do the quick panel tutorial, that will be all about borders. And as we go along, once we have our regular borders down and more understandable and have tutorials for those, then I'm going to, throughout the year, try to bring along more different types of borders that we can do to make our quilt more interesting. Now, if the quilt is the main focus and has a lot of work in it, a lot of times a simple border is really nice just because you want that quilt itself to be the focus and pop. Other times, maybe it's a more simple quilt and you want to add a little extra into your borders to bring more of that quilt out. So you might have a particular block within that quilt that you're liking more that you could add to your borders. So we'll be going over that in the future. So anyways, today's box opening day. It's a big box. So I was out gardening and all of a sudden I saw my husband picking up this huge box off of our front porch, and well, I cleaned everything up, put everything away, or most everything away, because I have to finish some gardening tomorrow. But I wanted to open my box. So let's see what we have. I don't even remember. I know I tell you that and you're like, how can you not remember? But I see so much fabric, go through so much fabric that I sometimes forget what I have coming. And then sometimes things are sent to me for tutorials, so that are more specific. Well, I can't get this one open. She did this one up really good. There we go. So we'll see what's in here. There's a lot in here. I had been asking about backings because I have a few around, but they weren't the right colors for quilts that I've been making. So I try to stock up whenever I can. I think a couple of these are still available, but the rest are going to be sold out. Don't worry, we have more backing fabric. Backing fabric is that 108 wide, and I think there's a 118-inch wide. But you can make a backing. Some people even make a whole, what would look like a top for their backing that's designed a little bit differently, but uses a lot of the fabrics from the top into the back. And I've done that a few times, but I like having the wide backings on hand. I may not use them right away, but I do like having them on hand because when I need to get a quilt out for something or other really quickly, then I have my backings that I can hopefully go to. Sometimes that works out, sometimes I have to make a backing. So as I was telling you before, now some of these are just double plastic wrapped because Barb's got a trip coming up and I told her don't worry about putting everything in paper. But she doesn't always listen to me, so she will often double put them into 2 plastic bags. So if anything happens during shipping, most usually our fabric, and I haven't seen a time, there could have been a time that I don't know about, but I haven't seen a time when I've heard complaints from customers that things have happened to their boxes or their packages, but their fabric was intact, which is wonderful. I think maybe one time somebody's thread fell out of their box or something like that, but for the most part, our fabric is pretty well protected. They do these beautiful stamps on our packaging as well. Just all these extra little details that go into our packages are wonderful, because it shows that they really care about their customer and about the product that they're sending out to their customer. So that was one of the first things when I had found Seaside Quilting. I think it was about 3 years ago now, or almost 3 years, not quite. I think in June makes 3 years since they've been online, and that's when I found them. So let's see. And sometimes I'm looking at my fabric with surprise because I'm like, wait a minute. I have to think back. Because I'm like, when did I order this? What did I have in mind? And it usually comes back to me pretty quick. So I have this other fabric that is egg cartons, and I'm not sure yet how well this will go with that particular fabric, but I was thinking of making a couple of tote bags, and I was thinking that the egg cartons would make a nice bottom to the tote, and then this would be nice for the sides. But oops, that's upside down. But I'm gonna have to take a look at it, because sometimes it is hard when you're ordering online and don't have your fabrics. But that's like going to the quilt store and remembering that you left your fabric at home that you were trying to match. That had happened to me many, many times. Right now I don't have any quilt stores in my area, and I really like having the home shopper where I can just sit back and relax and watch a video, or a live rather, and I can pick up my fabrics. So if this doesn't work for that project, we'll find a project for it. This was during, I can't remember if this was Ends of Balls. Oh, I think this was our 113 special sale that we did not too long ago, like about a week ago or so. We have the special secret number 113. Happened one evening that number got repeated, I think 3 or 4 times. They were tired, so much was going on, and they kept ended up picking up that number for fabric. So we made it a special number, and whenever that number comes up, we do a special sale on whatever that fabric is. And since we were 113 days into the year, we decided to do a 113 sale. And no, the fabrics were not 113 a yard, mind you. I think they were 713 a yard, which is awesome. I gotta save that jute. I used the jute pieces that they wrap my stuff in for other projects. So this is a real nice striped oceany fabric. Let me see. This is by Michael Miller. It's the waterfront stripe. I really like it. I have some fabric that has little pails on it, on a navy, and I'm thinking the two of those together will make a really nice either a children's quilt or some tote bags. We'll see. That I'm just telling you what I have in mind when I'm picking them out, but anything could happen. So you just never know. I made a quilt last year, a 3-yard quilt. I can't remember if I did a tutorial with it or not, but I did post pictures of it. I think I got it up. Do I have it upside down? Is there an upside down? Oh, yep, they all hang this way. I really like this fabric. like I said, I did use it in a quilt. It was an all embroidered quilt. So every block had the 12, a piece of the 12 Days of Christmas on it. And I actually gave it to my next door neighbor for Christmas. And I needed just a little bit more of this fabric to finish the next one, because I made 3 of the quilts, the 12 Days of Christmas, at the same time. So that was interesting. That was a lot of embroidery. I also grabbed this fabric. I'm pretty sure I have other parts of it. What was this one? Before I forget. Oh yeah, this is Benartex. I think we're almost out of this, or we might still have some left. Pretty sure we still have some of the stripes left, but I could be wrong. Sometimes by the time I get the fabric, it's sold out. Between Etsy, because we have our Etsy store, which is all one word, Fabrics by the Sea. You can see our available sales that we have for Etsy. Sometimes there's different sales on Etsy than there is on our lives, than there is in our private group. Just so you know. I really think this is cute. I had some other pieces of this line, and I like the ornaments. A lot of times this really works well for me in, like, say, a wall hanging. I do a lot of embroidery. So in the hoop projects, for those of you that know embroidery, this is from the Oh Christmas Tree line from Clothworks. And I'm pretty sure I have some other pieces, but anyways, the ornaments will be really nice in some blocks for some wall hangings for Christmas. And then well, this all gets folded up. I showed you last time how I fold my fabric. It has to all get folded. Once again, I thought this might go, I'm not sure if this will go with the pails, but I do have some other ocean fabric pieces that I've picked up along the way. And I really liked this because it has the like peachy coral colors in it, and the blues and the teals. So there's a good selection of fabrics that can go with this. And I don't have any idea what I will use it for, but I grabbed myself, I think, a yard. And this is from the Dear Stella line. Well, I know it's by Dear Stella. I'm not sure which fabric line it is, but I know it's by Dear Stella. And I love their fabrics. And I really liked this piece. I've probably bought some of this before, because that happens to me quite often. I will buy a fabric and then I will see it, you know, months later. And I'm like, oh, that's just so cute. And then I buy it. And then when I organize, I fold all my fabrics and I go to organize them into groups, either by theme or by color. Sometimes I find out that I've bought it before. I'm almost positive that I've bought this at least once before, possibly twice, because I really love snowmen and ladies. How can you resist happy snowmen? So this is by Painted Sky Studio. It's the Jingle Bell Christmas Crossroads collection. I'm positive I have bought some of this before, but who wants to run out of a good fabric, right? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so that's one package. There are a lot of fabrics in here. I think this might be the panel tutorial. Let me take a look. Usually their kits, just so you know, their kits are often pre-done when they're doing kit sales. Just makes it easier to walk over, I imagine, and grab this. pre-made kit when someone orders it, when we put the sales up, and for sales that are on Etsy. So these are in a single, thinner plastic, but always packed between things that are so super well packed. So never have to worry about my fabric. I'm pretty sure this is for the panel tutorial that I'm going to be doing. This is, oh, isn't this pretty? Oh, helps if I get it up the right way. Let me see if I can get all of this in the camera. Oh, aren't those gorgeous? This is a beautiful, beautiful panel. Oh, look at that. Just gorgeous. And let me see. This is from Northcott. And this is the Whale Song. And I had not bought any of this. There's sometimes even when you want something, there are so many things to choose from when they come in that I have to, of course, just like everybody else, make decisions on what I'm going to buy and what I can't. So, wow, I can't believe that I hadn't bought some of this. I think I bought some of the coordinates, though. But I haven't bought the panel. You wouldn't believe how many panels I have. A lot. We aren't going to tell, but a lot. So this is one of the coordinates. Beautiful, beautiful fabric. Oh, I love that. Love, love, love it. So pretty. I like how it has the purples with the blues and the teals. Those are all right up my color alleys. I just love colors. And this is the darker version. So that's the lighter coordinate. And then this is the darker one. So pretty. Love, love it. I can't wait. So this coming week I'll be filming a tutorial on the simple panel quilt, whether it's going to be for a wall hanging or a throw for someone. These make wonderful, wonderful quilts, and you don't have to always be fancy. Sometimes just the screen printed panels are just so gorgeous. You really don't have to do a fancy border. Sometimes I like to if I have more time, but sometimes it's nice just to do something simple. Doesn't take away from the picture of the panel. So we'll be doing that. Okay. I have a couple Christmas kits. Oh, wow. There is a lot of stuff in here, let me tell you. Let me take some of it out so I can get this box out of my way. Oh, I have shells. I have shells. I think if you get a big box, you get a big shell. This is the biggest shell I've ever gotten, and this is wonderful. I have areas out in my gardens that I put shells in, and I have a glass circle container for the tabletop that I put shells in. So I'll be adding these. Aren't those precious? Those are gorgeous. And there's even a little rock in there, because I saved those too. Well, we're going to put that right over here where it's well protected from my cat. Because if she hears anything jingle, that's it. You don't know what's going to happen. This is one of my largest orders. Probably the largest for a while. These are my receipts, mind you, which I will go over after. They always check everything off, or almost always check everything off, by the way. And then I go through everything and then I check it off too, just to make sure that I know what I got. I never bothered to measure my fabric ever since I began with them, because they've always done me well. They've always cut me extra fabric. Whew, we have stuff running away. Whew, that's a big box. And some of it I'm not going to bother to open right now. This is muslin. Excuse me. I like to use this when I'm practicing. I have to look and see if they sent me one of those. When I'm practicing my quilting, I like it for the backs of wall hangings, linings for tote bags. There's a lot of uses for muslin. And so this is going to come in so handy. Now just to find a place to put her. All right, we'll set that over there out of the way. Now I know that we still have the, it's kind of like a brick red, like almost like a burgundy-ish red. Well, no, it's actually a really good red. My lighting doesn't always tell things. Once I have better daylight, reaching towards the evening now, yeah, this is a real nice red. Nice, like the barn board by Benertex. And we still have some of this. I believe this is 108 inches wide. I ordered enough to get me through 2 or 3 Christmas quilts that I plan on making. So, yes, loving that. Which I'm going to set. Now these, I typically often will keep my backings either hung up. I have one of those wheel around dressmakers hanging racks, and some of my backings are hung up on there, although I've depleted a lot of them, so there aren't many on there now. But some of the other ones I keep wrapped in plastic because I'm not sure when I will be using them. And I have to find a way to store them, mind you. Now this one I know that we're out of stock on, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. I'm not sure if we're getting more of this in, of the folio, but at one time we had different folio colorings. This is kind of like a peachy color of the folio. I really like it. Has that nice delicate floral print. Let me see. This is by Henry Glass. And I love Henry Glass fabrics. I have some lamb, I think it was by Henry Glass as well, panel and whatnot that I'm going to be making a quilt out of. I thought this would be a nice sweet backing for that. I'll have to see how the colors go together. Sometimes, you know, like I said, I buy things not knowing for sure how the colorings will be. Now one of these is 118 inches, and I'll be honest with you, I am not going to know at the moment which one it is. Most of them are 108 inches wide. This is Etchings by Oasis Fabrics. It's a nice green for a spring quilts. For even this would be good to go with Christmas quilts. It's almost got, just barely, you can see, to me, what looks almost like a leaf print in it. but I really like it. It's a nice green. It's showing up a little darker because I'm losing my lighting. It's getting evening now, but it's like a medium. I would say this is a medium, not an ultra light, not a dark, but a medium. And it has different colorations of this green in here. And I tend to, when I order backings, I tend to order large amounts at a time to keep on hand. 3 yards to 6 yards, it depends. Now, I can't remember if this is the last of this or not. I can't remember. Either it's the green that we have more of or it's this one. I can't remember. We might be out of this one. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on it. But I like this one. This is another one of those like washboard type, not washboard, but you know, like barn board. That's what I was trying to think of. Type fabrics. This is by Benartex as well. I love Benartex fabrics. They're really, the feeling of them is really nice. And this is going to take a load off of me when I go, because I'm doing a class right now to grow in my long arming. And when I make tops, it's great to just grab a backing and have it ready and not have to make a whole backing on top of making a top, because I really need to be practicing in between the tutorials that I do. And whoa, we are gonna have to move these. Holy cow, they're running away. They're jumping out at me. And this is another backing that's really nice. It's got a, almost like a mauve, rosy, but very light coloring in here with some taupes. Very natural looking backing. And I think we're all out of this one now. I think this was the last piece that we have right now. Like I said, we have more backings coming in. They've been back ordered for a little while. But as soon as our backings come in, we will definitely be showing them to everyone. We're just low on backings right now, which is unusual, but it does happen. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. So, I like the paper because it's like opening a present. It's like getting a surprise inside. Oh. I'm so glad this got to go out with my shipment. This was from Tuesday's live. And I'm so excited about it. See, it's got a cute little tie. My nails are a little weak right now from gardening. I should garden with gloves, but I do not. This is the new lanai. And this is by, let me see. Sometimes I just can't remember. There's so many fabrics. Maywood Studios. How could I forget that? This is the larger print of the lanai. Isn't that beautiful? I just love all the colorings. We have yellows and rosy pinks and the greens, and it's not quite a white, kind of like a little bit of gray, and there is some white in there. There's a little bit of teal in here. There's a lot of colorings that can go with this. So this is the larger print of the lanai. Let me leave that there for a second. And then this is the smaller print. Excuse me. So just so that you can see the difference in the sizing of them, I will hold them up together. So we have the larger print here and the smaller print. Now I did not order all of the coordinates, but they were on our last Tuesday's live. I think that was May 2nd. Which is also on our YouTube. And this is one of its coordinates that I really like because it has all the colorings very softly done in this fabric. And it's going to be hard to see this on my camera, but it's very soft. It has this like print in there. Let me see if I can get it in my camera well. It's hard to show things sometimes, but see how there's that little print in there? I thought that was really adorable, and it's got very faintly all the colorings that are in the main fabrics. So this will be a really nice coordinate. I'm thinking 3-yard quilt. For one thing, and then I don't know. But I was thinking a 3-yard quilt. This is very springy, summery fabric. So that's exciting. I didn't know that was going to make it here. Just I wasn't sure it was going to make it in this particular box. I knew it would go out this week, but I wasn't sure if it would be 2 different packages or how it was going to go. Oh, okay. On Tuesday night, we were talking, I don't think we brought them out, but we were talking about the free motion quilting practice panels. And so, let me see if I can move my camera a little more towards the light. I feel like I'm getting some glare in my camera at the moment due to my lighting. I'm sorry. But there's this fabric and it's got prints all over it of different feathers. It's got some hearts. Let me see if I can get those in there. So there's some hearts. And there's a wreath with feathers. And it's a little hard to see right now, but we're going to be doing projects with this fabric coming up. So you'll see them a little bit closer. And then this is another one. There's 2 different ones. Oh, this is adorable. It's got this wreath with the basket. It's got, let me see. Oh, this is really nice. And so there's one that's done almost like a graph, and this is going to be really hard to see in here. But this is to practice meander. And I know it's probably not showing in the camera very well, but there's like a meander that goes around in the graph, and it puts the graph so that you can see your spacing. And then let me see, another wreath type block. So this is all for practice. And each one of the sections of this panel has a different practice for you to do with free motion quilting. And the thing is with these, and we'll go over this when we do these, you don't have to stay exactly on the lines. The lines are there to show you where to stitch, but if you get a little off the line, it's not a big deal. These are just for practice, and you can make some cute little projects with it. So we'll be doing that later. And I know some of you have bought them and you haven't had time. And there is a book also that has some more designs in it, and some of these designs in it that it goes over how to do them. Trying to save my plastic. I do reuse my plastic quite often. I figure why waste? So this is Fusions by Robert Kaufman. And so one is, I can't remember what the names of these were. I think, okay, wait a minute. I think I do. I believe this was Frost. The lighter one is Frost. And the darker one, I think was, if I recall, was Bluebell. I'm not sure how much we have left of this. But I think we might still have some. I'm not positive. You'd have to check. But this is the Frost. And it is a little bit metallic on here. And the thing that I like is that the metallic is a silvery metallic. Quite often the metallic is gold. I'm more of a silver person. I do like gold, but I'm more of a silver person, so this really stood out to me. Isn't that pretty? Let me get that a little bit closer so you can see the design. So cute. And then this is the darker one, Bluebell. Now, I don't always get all of the coordinates that goes with a panel or a line that comes in. Sometimes because, you know, we can't have everything we want. I have to pick a few pieces. And then let me see what's in here. It does kind of feel like Christmas because I don't remember what I'm getting. Oh, nice. I don't remember if this went. Did this go with that? No, this is Free Spirit. And, you know, I almost didn't end up with this. But then this happened to catch my eye. And it's got medallions. Really wishing that I could get rid of that glare. But it's got these medallions in the fabric. I think it's picking it up a little bit there. And right about there. It's like a royal navy blue combination in the fabric. It's got beautiful medallions all over it, and I'm a blue person, really love blue. And so I thought, oh, I'm glad I didn't miss getting that. And then this is the Gold Palette by Wyndham Fabrics. And I love the palette fabrics because they're, instead of being just a solid, it has from dark to light. So it has its main color, but then it has different colorations, you know, different tones of that color in the fabric. And I'm really sorry that I did this in the evening. I have to remember to do this during daylight so I have more light in here. I'm almost done. So this is a nice brown batik. I'm low on browns. I always know I need them, but then all these little pretty fabrics come out and I end up choosing them. But this is just, I can't remember the coloring of brown that it is, but it is a gorgeous piece, a batik. I have a stack of fall fabrics and I needed some more browns. I like brown with blue. I like brown with yellow. I like brown with a lot of colors, actually. I really like brown. So when I find a piece that I really like, I try to get, I should have gotten more of it, mind you, but anyhow, I got a yard. And then this is another batik that I just really liked. The cute little pattern in it. It's almost like, you almost get that feeling of a floral, but it's not floral. And it's really, it's a pretty different tones of the teals in here. Very pretty piece. Obviously, I ordered a little bit more of this than I did the brown. And I'm gonna regret that. I can tell you right now, because I do love that brown. But you know, I think when I was seeing it on the camera, I couldn't tell if it was more black or more brown. And I did ask, and Barb described it to me, but sometimes until you see it. So I will check and see if we have more of that brown. And then I have some kits. This is the new Christmas fabric that we've had in the Christmas line. I know that this is selling out pretty fast. We had some coordinates picked out to go with it. The red, this is the cracked ice. I think this is taupe. And then these cute little berries and holly and stuff. So that's a really cute kit. And then also I have this kit that has that fabric that I showed you before. I know this was sent to me to do a project, a Christmas project. So we'll see what comes up with this. And again, this has that gold palette fabric. And then this has the ornaments, instead of being on black, it has it on white. And I know Barb doesn't usually show you things in plastic, but I'm Terry, and I might do that sometimes. This is another panel kit. How do I get inside? Ah, here we go. I almost don't. I'm going to try not to mess this up so I can get it back in here, because these kits, I know these two are for projects to do with my tutorials. So I like to keep everything together. This is a really beautiful gray. This is by Hoffman. And this is their Spectrum, one of their Spectrum prints. I really like it. It's a beautiful, beautiful gray. It's showing up a little bit darker. It's actually lighter. It's more of a medium to light gray, a little darkish in there. Well, I'll try to get it back in the plastic after. And then there's this beautiful, oh, my goodness, my fingers. So this is Henry Glass. And this is the, shoot. Little Love Farm. You Are Loved by Henry Glass. And so it has these cute little pictures. It has the lamb. I can't remember if that's an alpaca or somebody's going to hate me because, you know, I would call it a llama, but it's probably an alpaca. And then the bunny rabbit and a barn. Oops. And more lambs. And a birdie. So cute. And then, let me see. Oh, this is the border fabric, which is wonderful. So whenever you have the border stripe fabrics with a line, these can be cut apart and used separately. So you could use it all as one piece, and there's like, usually with the stripe fabric, it will have the stripes of whatever the pictorial part will be, and then it will run again. So you can cut them apart, but you can also say, well, I want to separate this more, and you could separate it here. You could separate it here. you could cut it here and then or like have this section and that section. There's different ways that you can cut up your stripes when it's a part of a panel or fabric line. So we'll see what we come up with that. Okay, so that's it for this box. I did want to grab this one other package. Just because this is my favorite panel ever. And I did order some more colorings. I know I showed you Fire last time. And I don't remember which, I know it's a Dream Big. Is this? Oh, this, I think, might be the pastel. Of the Dream Big. Let me see, let's open this up and see if I can show you more of the colorings in it. It's really gorgeous. It's got the teal, like greenish teal in the center, and it goes out to like almost like a bluish purpley color out to some pinks and rosy looking colors. It's a great panel. I'm gonna adjust my camera just a little bit. Now this is the magenta Dream Big floral panel. I'm only showing half because I have two together and I don't want to completely undo them. I believe this is the let me see. Okay, this is the Atlantic here. So this is the blue. And this one's considered Atlantic. And I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to get the blues. I love blue. So one of these three that I ordered will be mine. It will be my keepy one. Now, I did do one recently that was teals, and I was going to use that for my sewing room, but then I saw the blues, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then I believe this is the hydrangea, which is like a grapey purple. And I just love it because I sometimes have a hard time finding this coloring of purple, and this one I can open up because they're individuals. And look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And this is the hydrangea, so I'm not sure how many more of these we have, or of the Atlantic that we have. The other two are out of stock right now. And we do have Aurora, which I didn't get because I still have some of those left. Okay, now I get to fold all that up and put all that away. So while I have you here, sorry if my finger's getting in the way, catch us on Tuesday evenings on Seaside Quilting Supplies, LLC, on Facebook at 7 p.m. every Tuesday night. There's a sip and shop where we show fabrics, notions, etc., etc., etc. It always changes each week what we're showing. Sometimes you'll see things that you've seen before, but it gets spread out. So it's ever changing. Let me see, what else did I want to tell you? We have our 2023 quilt along that's going on. We have other tutorials coming up. We'll be doing ones on binding, on panels, totes, all kinds of things, other blocks that I'll be showing, and so forth. Just all kinds of stuff throughout the rest of the year. We'll have some holiday projects, I'm trying to get some Christmas things done for July. Hopefully, cross fingers that I can get enough time in to get those done. I'd like to try to get a few tutorials out for July, for Christmas in July, but I also want to get a project out for 4th of July. So we'll see what happens. Time, you know, you always think that you have enough time, but then there's just so much going on, and we have to live. You know, imagine that. I'm supposed to have a life. I'm supposed to clean my house. That's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But I'm box opening, so I gotta open the box. Because if I don't put it away, the big box is gonna take up floor space. Right? Okay, so that's it for now. If this is the first time that you're watching us, please take a moment to subscribe. As tutorials, lives, events, box opening days, etc., come up, you'll get notified. Click on that little bell that's right next to the subscribe button, and you can adjust your notifications. You can set it to all. That's my preference. But you may not want them all. There are other options there that you can pick for your notifications. But if you're enjoying the tutorials, if you're enjoying the lives and so forth, click that all, and then you'll get a notification every single time. You don't have to watch them all just because you get notified, but it is nice to know what has come up. So we'll see you over on Facebook. And that's it for today. Happy sewing.